Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are starting a new series. So this series is called Ask Amelie, right? I'm going to give you a little bit of explanation of what it is. So this is basically where you get to ask me for advice on anything. So on friends, boyfriends, family, anything like that. Or even on yourself, if there's something going on and you don't know who to talk to, or you feel like everyone's biased when you speak to them, or that you're not getting very good advice, you can come to me. So I've had quite a lot of responses, and I'm not going to be able to answer all of them, but I'll answer as many as I can. So anyway, you can probably hear the dog snoring down here, so if you can hear that, you're used to it by now. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe, and I will have my socials linked below, and I will have the Ask Amelie thing linked below where you can ask us for any advice on any situation. Try and give us as much detail as you kind of can, because if you don't give us much detail I can't really help you too much, but I will do my best anyway. There will also be an email below that you can email instead, because you can send like a longer reply. But that is everything, so I'm going to get into it. So got your MacBook here, and we're just going to be reading them off of here. So, problem 1. Now this is a lot. Okay, these have really tested me reading skills here. Right. Hi Amelie, I'm having a massive dilemma. Massive was in all caps. Basically, I've been best friends with girls since I was literally 4, and in that time we've been inseparable. And we literally grew up like sisters. However, I got a boyfriend a few months back and started spending loads of time with him. She's now got really close to this girl that I hardly know, and I feel a bit left out. Whenever I try to make plans with just her, she always has to invite her friend. I know I shouldn't have gotten distant when I got a boyfriend, but I didn't realise I was until now. I just want my best friend back, but it's like she's moved on. What should I do? It's important to realise, right, that kind of happens to everyone. Whenever you get in a new relationship, it kind of just, you do get a bit distant from your friends because you're so wrapped up in the relationship, right? But what I would say is speak to her, because she's probably not understanding that you're not like okay with her bringing her mate everywhere. Like, I would just say to her, like, I think maybe is kind of start with apologising a bit and just say like, I know I've been distant, and just explain to her like, you've been in a relationship, and you just kind of wrapped up in it. But saying that, you said whenever I take my plans I should also have to invite a friend. Well, maybe say to her, why don't me and you have a movie night, just the two of her, and see what happens. And then maybe if she does invite a friend, just text her and say, look, like, I love you a bit, but you keep inviting your friend all the time, and it's making us feel really awkward because I want to spend time with just you. But I think everyone goes through this, because I feel like we all kind of end up creating this situation, we're getting a relationship because we're so wrapped up in the relationship that like we don't even realise how much time we're spending with them, and then we realise we haven't even spoken with friends in ages. So it's totally understandable, and your friend should understand that, and they should get that. Don't feel bad for it, just correct it, do you know what I mean? Like, just sort it out and just say to them, look, like, I know I haven't been spending much time with you. And the fact you said she's been your best friend since you were literally 4, it's not worth falling out over. Maybe she has got this new friend, right, but new friends come and go, best friends don't. And you never even know, you should give this girl a chance, because you might end up actually becoming really good friends with her, because if your best friend is friends with her, then you are probably going to get along as well. Anyway, let us know how that gets on. Okay, so problem number 2. So I don't really know where to start with this, but my ex has admitted to having a girlfriend the last 2 months I was with him, and has now admitted that he cheated on me with 7 different girls multiple times, and now I don't trust boys. What do I do? I'm not surprised you don't trust boys. I'm in a very similar situation myself, girl, so I understand how you're feeling. Being cheated on is definitely not the best feeling in the world, especially when it was so many times with so many different girls, and the fact that it was 2 months with one of them. That is like, wow. First thing I would say is run a mile. Don't have him on anything. Block him on every social medias. Any of the girls that he slept with, or the girls' friends, anything that reminds you of him, or a girl he cheated on you with, or a friend of a friend of a friend, block them, because you don't need them on social media anyway. and it's just going to make you feel worse. Like, that's exactly what I did. Like, anybody that reminded me of my ex, I just blocked them for a bit, because I mean, they might take it personally, but at the end of the day, if it's going to make you feel better, then do it. Like, I would understand that 100%. And I would also say you need time to heal. I think what happens is when you get out of a relationship, right, I think girls' brains just go, right, I need to get another one, because I'm not happy single. I can't be happy single. I've been with a boyfriend, so I need to jump in a new relationship. But it doesn't work, because unless you're 100% ready to be in a relationship, you shouldn't be a mum. But I am so sorry that happened here, but it's ridiculous. But just remember, not all boys are like that. They're really not. Nice boys are few and far between, but when you find one, you'll be living on cloud 9. What I would also say as well is, I know it sounds so obvious, but this is a him problem. Like, this has nothing to do with you. Like, him cheating on girls, that's fine. Like, he can go do that. But do not think for a second that you're the problem, because the next girl he's with, as much as he pretends he likes that, he will cheat on. Because people don't change. They don't. Not people like him. What you need to do though is you need to just surround yourself by people who make you feel happy, but also spend time being by yourself. Start enjoying your own company. Like, when this happened to me not too long ago, that's kind of, I struggled so much with that, because for a long time I've not had to be single. I've not had the chance to enjoy my own company. But now, I'm telling you now, I love my own company, and it will happen. Just do things by yourself. Like, I don't know, do your tan, do your hair, do your eyebrows, do things that make you feel good. Even if it means doing your makeup to sit in lockdown, do things that make you feel good, because your company is the most important thing at the end of the day. Being single is amazing for so many reasons. Focus on yourself before anything else. I definitely wouldn't recommend jumping into another relationship, because it just kind of backfires on you. I would say it's probably going to backfire. What I always think, right, imagine you meet a boy tomorrow, right? If they're the right person for you, then they're going to understand that you can't trust boys, and they are going to be there for you. And they're going to, like I said, they're going to understand. Like, any boy that gets in a huff of you over you not believing and trusting boys after this is not the right person. But that doesn't mean to say jump in a new relationship and then put all of your hatred about your ex onto this new boy, because this new boy didn't cheat on you. Do you know what I mean? I would just say biggest healer is time. It's the worst thing in the world, because you can't do anything to speed it up, but time, and block them and everything so you can't see them. Tell your friends you don't want to hear anything about them, and just live your life being you. You don't need a boy. You're absolutely capable of doing stuff yourself. I don't know how old you are, but you've spent all this time alone before, and you've done absolutely amazing. And your own company is the best company. Surround yourself with your girls and your boys that make you feel happy, all your best friends, and you will trust people in time, and the right boy that comes along, you'll know, because you'll trust them. As hard as it'll be, you will. So don't worry about it. Like I said, not your problem. It's a boy problem. That boy's problem. Ignore him. He's terrible. And just think how lucky you are to have found out now. Like, imagine it had been 3 years down the line and you were still with this cheating boy and you didn't know. You would have been like absolutely heartbroken. But I hope you're okay, and it's absolutely horrible, but you will get over it. As much as it feels like you're not going to, you 100% will, and you'll be a better person for it. So, the next problem is, I've liked this boy for ages and we always argue, and it hurts knowing that he's not in my life at times. I just don't know what to do. What I would say is, right, really think about it. Maybe have you tried to speak to them and said, like, why do we keep arguing? I don't want to argue with you. And who is it that's starting these arguments? Is it both of you? Is it him? Is it you? I think for the fact that you've liked him for so long, you've had all that time to get with him, but he's continued to argue. That's kind of what it sounds like. Personally, I would speak to them and I would just say, like, why are we arguing all the time? I really like you and I don't want to argue. But if this is a case of him treating you not very well and he's arguing because of that, then you deserve a lot better than that. And you deserve not to be in a toxic relationship like that. I also think if yous were right for each other, then yous wouldn't be arguing about stuff all the time. Like, I'm guessing it's little things you argue over, and that shouldn't happen. Like, and it is hard not having people in your life when they've been there for so long, or when you're used to them being there, or you're relying on them being there. But like I said on the last problem, You've got to be happy in your own company. And if you're not, then you're not ready for a relationship. Do you know what I mean? But it is heartbreaking when like someone's not in your life who you thought was going to be for a long time. Yeah, I would say speak to them, be open and honest, open that communication up, and just tell them exactly how you're feeling, because there's no point holding back. If you really have liked them for so long, then go for it, I think. Might be able to just resolve it, you know, it might be something little that you can resolve together. But if you speak to them and it's still not getting better and you're still arguing just as much, honestly, I would walk away, because I just don't think that you should be in a relationship where you're arguing with them constantly. It's not worth it. Well, a situationship, I guess. Okay, so the next problem, and this absolutely took my breath away when I read this. So, problem 4. For the past few months, my best friend has liked this boy, and I've only just found out. So I helped her start dating him, but the more he's been video calling me to ask about her, I've been catching feelings. I don't know what to do. She loves him. Okay, first thing I would say is, do not feel bad. Sometimes things like this happen. Sometimes you catch feelings for people that you're not supposed to. It just happens sometimes. But what I would say is, this is your best friend and she loves him, right? Now, I'm guessing you love your best friend more than you like this boy. What I would personally do in this situation, right, is I would remove myself from the situation. I'd probably distance myself a bit from my best friend, because the more you're with her, the more she's going to be talking about him. And the more she talks about him, the more you're going to be thinking about him, and the more you're going to catch feelings for him. I'd also probably say to him, look, I don't want to FaceTime you speaking about her anymore. Just speak to her. Also, don't be like nasty about it, but just say like, oh, I don't really think we should speak anymore. And I would remove yourself from it, because the further you stay giving advice and being the middleman, the harder it's going to be for you, and it's not really fair on you either. Like, you're going to end up catching more and more feelings for him. And this is your best mate and she loves him. Like, you can't do that. So what I would say is distance yourself for a while. I wouldn't make a big fuss over it. I wouldn't say to your friend, I have feelings for you, boyfriend or whatever he is to her. I've got feelings for this boy you like. I wouldn't say that, because I feel like that's going to cause a lot of arguments. I feel like you could, because I guess she's your best friend. Personally, I would probably just not say anything. I'd probably distance myself quite a bit, and then give yourself time to kind of forget about him, speak to some other boys, you know, do your own thing. And then when you feel like you're ready and you don't feel like you have feelings for him anymore, you feel a bit more chilled, then put yourself back in the situation with her. I wouldn't go back to speaking to him every night on the phone or anything, because I think, again, you'll just end up catching feelings again. So yeah, I would say don't look at him as anything more than your friend's boyfriend. That's what I would say. I don't know if they are boyfriend and girlfriend, but let's just say they are. Don't think of him anything more than that. That's all he is. He's like a brother to you. Do you know what I mean? Think of him that way. Like, purely platonic. Think of it that way. Because there is no point ruining a best friendship over a boy. Like, it's not worth it. Okay, so problem 5. So, I've had a best friend who I've grew up with, like sisters, been on holiday and everything, but since she got a boyfriend, we've spent no time with each other and nearly talk. And hardly talk, I think I'm supposed to say. I don't know what to do. This is so similar to the last question, but it's like the opposite side. So first thing I would say is, things like this happen, right? People get in relationships, they get caught up in it, and they don't realise how much time they're spending with the boyfriend. So first thing first, I wouldn't take it personally. Like, I bet you she'll obviously a bit still. She's just so caught up in being with him. Now, I'd literally just say to you, sit down with her and speak to her and say, look, I feel like you're not spending any time with us, but don't make it come across judgy. Don't say you're always with your boyfriend, you're doing this, you're always doing this, because then that's going to make her want to spend more time with her boyfriend and not with you, because you're going to think, every time I hang around with you, all you're going to do is whinge about your boyfriend. Do you know what I mean? And it's going to end up in an argument, it's going to end up defensive. So what I would say is, just sit down and say, look, like, I really miss spending time with you. Do you want to do something this day? Do you want to do something this day? And if she's making excuses constantly, maybe say, well, look, I'm so happy in a relationship and I'm so happy you're happy, but I feel like you never spend any time with us anymore. Like I said, not judgy. And see how she responds to that. If she responds to that with something like kind of argumentative, like, oh, you're jealous or something like that, then, or something nasty, then I would say maybe distance yourself from that a bit until she realises, because people do realise at a certain point that they're spending too much time with their boyfriends, like in the last scenario problem. But if she replies something like, oh my god, like, I know I haven't seen you in ages, we haven't been spending much time together, then just go along, go and speak to her, go say I spent some time with her, because I think at the end of the day, there's no point holding grudges about stuff like this, because I think if you were in the same relationship, then you would probably be doing the same thing. So for quite a while, I've been having quite a few like questions being sent to us on this anonymous app. So I thought I'd answer like one a week maybe. The one I picked for this week was, what's the best piece of advice you'd give your younger self? I think the best piece of advice I would give my younger self would be, they don't deserve you. I think throughout being young, I think the amount of like friends and boyfriends that I'd been with who were so unkind and like nasty and just didn't deserve us, I would tell myself that they don't deserve you. I think when I was younger, I settled way too much for people. I really did, like, I let people treat us so much worse than I would accept now. And I think that's the bit of advice I'd give myself, that they don't deserve you. And that things get better. Don't sit listening to Ed Sheeran crying all night, or Adele, because it's not going to change the situation. Yeah, that's kind of what I would say. Right, anyway, angels, thank you so much for watching. So below I will link the Ask Amelie. Basically all you got to do is click the link and it takes you to an anonymous website, and you write down the problem that you're going through or something you need advice on, or if you do have a question, like at the end of the video question, yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. But I also have an email down below that I literally just use for this, and you can like copy and paste it because it's quite a long email, so I'll type it out so you can just copy and paste it, and that is probably the best place to send your stuff. But obviously it won't be anonymous. On my part it will be. I won't tell anyone anything or show anyone anything, but obviously I'm going to know who you are because it'll say your email address. If you want to be anonymous and you don't want to know who you are, that's fine, just do it on YOLO. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I love you angels, and I hope you have enjoyed this, loved the episode, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.